Hey, how you doing, Patrick Ewing? In today's video, we're going to take a look at this trio of Seekers from Dr. Woo 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 Woo. Shout out to Deluxe Baldwin. You guys know where that's from. It's from a group called In Vogue, from a song called Never Gonna Get It. Anyway, take a look at this, man. It is really, really well done. Very, very beautiful. Great stuff from the minds of Dr. Wu, and this is much smaller than your core or legends class, which I think those lines are the same, right? Same scale, so to speak. This might be more in line with world's smallest Transformers, but probably a little bit bigger than that. And it's a really, really good looking toy. I mean, I keep mentioning that, but for its size, it's very impressive. The sculpt and the paint, yeah, it's really, really done well. The transformation is fun. It's pretty intuitive, and it's very similar to the core class Starscream. But where it fails, and I wanted to talk about this later, is the tolerances. That's the one thing that basically is a negative detraction, subtraction, or whatever, infraction on this stuff is that, you see that little shoulder blaster? This thing, they just don't like to stay in. Everything is just way too loose, you know? Everything is just off of hinges and stuff, and the tolerances just aren't there. I wish they had done a little bit more QC on that, but I mean, it can easily be remedied with some what is it, floor polish or clear nail polish or something like that. But yeah, really unfortunate because otherwise this is a pretty phenomenal set. And unfortunately, those tolerances also and spacing as well kind of get in the way of him putting on his whole coronation set, and I'll show you that in just a second. But yeah, all three of them look good. All three of them look very good. The orange carries through well on the black. You know, one thing I was going to ask is, does this fool have blue on the wings? Or is it supposed to be purple? I thought it's supposed to be purple, but I don't know. Homie got blue on the wings, so maybe it is like that. No, maybe it is like that, and I'm just having old brain moment, and yeah. Articulation is pretty basic. You have ball joints pretty... goodness gracious. Dude, I'm just going to leave those out, dude, because it's rather aggravating. Most things are on ball joints and hinges and stuff like that. There's no ratchets at this particular scale. But still, posability is good. You can make him so that he's like dancing the jig. Dancing the jig. Sounds like an old man term. And then he also has the coronation seat, so that's really well done. It looks just like the one from the Starscream, the mainline set, and so that's cool. And anybody can sit on that, but here, let's dress him up so that I can show you. He comes with the crown. He also comes with a replacement head as well, and I'm not sure if that's if you lose the head you're supposed to use it, but the crown sits well enough on here. Oh my goodness! All right, we're just gonna remove those. And so these have a half cylinder that will kind of plug into the top of the ball joint area. You see that little half cylindrical space? The shoulder pauldrons will rest on top of that. Yeah, it's a decent enough connection. It's not going to fall off. This head, though, this crown wants to kind of pop off. And I'm wondering if that additional head is meant to house the crown a little bit better. I don't know. It seems pretty similar to me, dude. They both seem pretty similar, so I don't think it matters. And plus, I don't know how to get my fingers in there to pop that head off anyway. Okay, so we got that. And that's well enough. That looks pretty good. And it's too bad that the shoulder blasters fall off. But this bit, it's supposed to... You hear me taking a deep breath? I'm like, eh. It's supposed to sit in there. And it's supposed to just hinge down like that, but dude, there's not a lot of space between. There we go. Yeah, the crown. See, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. There just isn't a lot of good space between the parts, and so stuff will go flying, and there we go. That's the best that I can get it in right now. Let's give him the crown. Okay, that's not bad, but just telling you, man, stuff just doesn't want to stick in place. That's too bad. That's too bad. That's the biggest thumbs down on the set. Otherwise, man, for this size and what it's supposed to do, phenomenal. Phenomenal. But yeah, just get some floor polish in there, and and remove some headaches. Yeah. Anyway, let me show you how to transform him. It is super duper simple. Hey, really quick with the commercial break from our sponsor, TF Safari, tfsafari.com. Check them out for all of your mecha needs from first, second, third, fourth party. They also do upgrades as well. You're not going to find a lot of sites that cater to different tastes and needs. tfsafari.com. And if you do go there, utilize the codes that you see on the top right corner of the screen and save yourself a little bit of change, man. They are a very reliable vendor. They are out of China. They ship to you in about 2 weeks, super sturdy boxes. And yeah, tfsafari.com. Can't say enough nice things about them. And so thank you so much, TF Safari, for sponsoring this video. We'll go with Skywarp since he's the closest one that I had. And you'll find that this thing transforms very, very similar to the core class. I actually think it's quite ingenious. Whoever thought of that? I mean, it might be the core class folks. Regardless, I don't know who came out first, but it's just a very cool design for the small seekers. And so you just open up the pectorals, and you lift up that little cone, and you start swinging this around. But I'm wondering, I forget when you're supposed to thread the head through. Because you got to thread this through 360, but I think you do it while you're spinning, because you have the most clearance. Oh, no, maybe you could do it like that. Yeah, you spin everything around, and then you can push that through. And that harkens back to the ye old Seeker designs of G1. The nose cone flips through exactly like the way it would. But this is just really smart. You see how that went over? That's clean. And the legs don't have to compress. They just remain like as is. And imagine if they had thought of this particular design back in the 80s, because what they're doing here is not sophisticated engineering. It's smart. It's very smart engineering. But I think in G1, they could have done something like this. And the timeline would look very, very different. And these will just tab in underneath the wings. There's a little tab and slot, and that works well enough. And this you just bring up. Look at that, man. The Seeker, the nose cone, the head over here, that just looks really nice. It has this kind of bulbous look that was often found in the cartoons. So that's captured very well. But this blue is throwing me off. I swear it's supposed to be purple. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all. For some reason, dude, I thought it was supposed to be purple and black all throughout, and blue is not present. But it doesn't matter. On the bottom, this is the way it looks. I do like the way this kind of went back over here. If this was larger, potentially I could see these flipping up and like having landing gear speckled throughout. But again, at this size, look at that undercarriage. Pretty clean, man. Pretty clean, other than the presence of the arms. I mean, if it really bothered you, you could remove the what is it? The arms from the shoulder sockets and stuff. Otherwise, you can just plug the blasters back in and cross your fingers and hope that they don't pop out. And there you go. We have our little Seeker guy. Cool. You want to see if he can do a Gerwalk? I haven't really tried, but let's give it a go. Well, based on what I know about this figure, I get the sense that it's going to end disastrously. Well, not disastrously, but it's not going to do what I want it to do. I mean, mainly because the placement of the legs, you know, you can't swing the legs down any further forward, and that greatly compromises the position of the Gerwalk. And same thing for the arms as well. Well, let me start by threading the nose through, and then we'll go from there. Okay. If we were to bring this down like that, the arms are just too far back to do a Gerwalk, right? Yeah, that's horrible. Let me dude, I was gonna say, hey, this just reminds me. So I was hanging out with my wife and her friends, and they're her friends from college, and they were showing me some old school pictures and stuff, and I was like, that's cool, man. And one of the homegirls, well, I won't use her real name. I'll call her Wendy. And she was like, yeah, we've been friends for 30 years. And I was like, that's amazing. And she's like, that is terrible. Basically saying that we're all old now, you know. And I was cracking up. The first thing she said, that's terrible. Okay. This is the best. The arms are kind of in the right place, I guess. And you can kind of keep this down, I guess, but like, yo, the legs are just really too far recessed. Even if I were to spin them so that I can get the knee locomotion to go the other way, I don't think it would look great. So, okay, so Gerwalk, it failed, doesn't work. Battleoid, Batteroid, bot mode, great. Jet mode, pretty good. But all throughout, they do need to work on the tolerances. Otherwise, you can't even properly enjoy this play pattern of dressing them up Coronation style, you know what I mean? Anyway, this has been the trio of Seekers from Dr. Wu, Dr. Woo 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 Woo, and I will catch you all another time, right? It's a pretty cool set, though, I'm not going to lie, yeah.